The Nothing Ear 3A are a pretty solid upgrade over the previous generation, the Ear A. But they just have some pretty annoying bugs that I didn't really expect from Nothing, which I think can be fixed. But with the budget earbud market being so competitive, you can't really make mistakes nowadays. So as usual, I'll be scoring and ranking the Ear 3A in 10 categories against earbuds at any price. I'll then customize the scoring at the end to favor important categories, which you can do so for yourself as well with the free spreadsheet link below. Now the retail price of the 3A is 99 US dollars, 179 Australian, but in Australia you can already get them for 156 bucks. So starting with category 1, comfort, I'm scoring the buds a 9 out of 10, same as the previous Nothing buds. You get the same ergonomics, it's a comfortable fit, the buds don't dig in too deep. You now get 4 sizes of ear tips, up from the 3 sizes you get with the Ear A. And the only difference here is the bottom part of the stem has more of a curve to it, similar to the Ear 3. And they of course come in a new fresh color, a nice pink, which actually reminds me of that Motorola phone from back in like 2007, I think. Not my go-to color, I'm more like a blue person, as you can kind of see. I'm keen for the Nothing blue to come out next time, we'll see. Now, category 2 is security of the fit. Again, I'm scoring them an 8 out of 10. Same as previous Nothing buds. You get a pretty stable fit here. I can personally weight train with them with no issues. And the buds work well with a minimal amount of body-borne noise from the impact you make on the ground if you're running or even walking outside. Of course, fit's gonna be different for everyone. Stem style buds work for me. If stem style buds don't work for you normally, I'd recommend going for one of the higher scored buds, which usually have a wing or a hook. And if you like using your buds when exercising, you get an IP54 dust and water resistant rating on the buds and the case now. That's the same as the Ear 3, and it is an upgrade over the Ear A, which only had an IPX2 rating on the case. But now category 3 is case and battery life. Scoring the buds at 7.25. It's a slight upgrade here over the Ear A. You now get 6 hours in the buds and 24 hours in total with the case, and that's with noise cancelling on. Also like that Nothing advertises the battery with LDAC on, noise cancelling off, various use cases in there. Now in my test at 60% volume on a Nothing Phone 3A Pro, I got just over 11 hours. That's with noise cancelling off since I couldn't have it on unless the buds were in my ear. So you're getting over the advertised amounts, which is great to see. Now you don't get any wireless charging here, which wasn't on the Ear A. The Ear 3 does have it, but I think this is a good area to cut costs. I personally never use wireless charging. But many similarly priced and cheaper buds do offer wireless charging, buds from Soundcore, Tozo, and Earfun. Onto the case itself, it's a very similar design to the Ear A. Like the buds, you get a more rounded design here. It's just as thin. I have them ranked 3rd thinnest overall. And a nice touch here is a new 3 indicator lights. So you just get a better visual representation of how much battery is left when you're pairing the buds or if you're doing a factory reset. All right, now category 4 is controls. Scoring the 3A an 8 out of 10, same as usual from Nothing here. You get squeeze controls with a single, double, triple press, long hold, as well as the press and hold. You get some light customization. I like setting the press and hold to volume up and down, but a new feature here is the audio snapshot. You can set this to the long hold, the press and hold, or you can just press both earbuds at the same time. And this will actually take a quick snippet of audio from whatever you're listening to on your earbuds. I'll cover this later in the app section. A nice feature here as well is the ability to mute a microphone on the long hold. The only real exclusive Nothing phone feature you get here is the AI voice assistant. So you can activate ChatGPT using the earbuds and quickly access essential news. Now, my only complaint here with the controls is when you activate the controls with that squeeze sensor, the click feedback is very quiet. So I noticed if I was even listening to music at like 30–40% volume, sometimes I couldn't hear that click feedback. So it would feel like I wasn't actually activating the controls. And also notice when switching between noise cancelling and transparency, when you switch between modes, there's like a loud bass sound with noise cancelling and like a hush sound when you turn transparency on, and it's just way too loud. So this needs to be sorted out by firmware. And it's not an issue on previous Nothing buds. I do have them updated to the latest firmware, which I'll leave up here. Now I know Nothing likes to keep things simple, but I think even having some customization of this beep feedback would be nice. I know some people don't like it too loud. Some people like it really quiet, depends on how loud you're listening. And some people just like to turn it off completely. But wrapping it up here, you still get wearing detection, which actually works with skin detection. So you can take one bud out, for example, chuck it in your pocket, and the wearing detection won't activate. All right, now category 5 is connectivity. Scoring the 3A an 8.5 out of 10. Same stuff as usual from Nothing. Bluetooth 6.0 with SBC, AAC, and LDAC high res. You also get Google Fast Pair and Microsoft Swift Pair. You still don't get single bud mono mode. So for example, if you're using the right earbud with the left earbud in the case, on the right bud, you're only going to hear the right audio channel, not the left and right. And the multi-point connection here works with 2 devices. You just need to pause playback on one device and then play it on the other device for that audio to switch over. And you also get a low latency gaming mode here. Here are my results I got on my iPhone 15 Pro and Nothing Phone 3A Pro on COD Mobile. And speaking of gaming, I just started a Twitch gaming channel where I'm gonna live stream some gaming action. So you can check that out if you're interested, linked down below. Okay, now category 6 is call quality. I run through 3 tests: quiet room, simulation crowd noise, and a simulation windy city. And all this is recorded on an actual phone call. So here are all the scores for all the buds. The 3A gets a solid 9 out of 10, a slight upgrade over the Ear A. It's pretty similar to the Ear 3, so top tier stuff as usual from Nothing. So I'll leave you with some samples now, comparing all the Nothing buds and the highest scored Huawei FreeBuds Pro 5. All right, this is the Nothing EA in a quiet room. All right, here is the call quality of the Nothing Ear 3A in a quiet room. All right, this is the Nothing Ear 3 in a quiet room. All right, this is a Huawei FreeBuds Pro 5 in a quiet room. All right, now let's see how the microphones block out some simulation crowd noise. All right, this is the Nothing Ear A with some simulation crowd noise. All right, this is the Nothing Ear 3A with some simulation crowd noise. All right, here is the Nothing Ear 3 with some simulation crowd noise. All right, here's a Huawei FreeBuds Pro 5 with some simulation crowd noise. All right, now I have some city noise, some construction noise, and some simulation wind. All right, this is a Nothing EA with some city noise, construction noise, and some simulation wind. All right, here's a Nothing E3A with some city noise, construction noise, and simulation wind. All right, here is a Nothing E3 with some city noise, some construction noise, and some simulation wind. All right, here's a Huawei FreeBuds Pro 5 with some city noise, construction noise, and simulation wind. All right, now category 7 is app customization and extra features. Scoring the 3A an 8 out of 10, a full point up from the A, mainly because they now include the advanced 8-band EQ. So you get 8 bands with frequency and Q factor adjustment, so you can really dial the sound into how you like. You still have a simple 3-band EQ with some presets in there as well. And another new feature is the spatial audio, which just like the E3 is pretty terrible. It just adds too much of that like strange echo and spatial audio effect. And the next new feature is recordings that I mentioned before. So you can just press on the earbuds, set it to whatever control you like, and it's gonna quickly record whatever was played through your earbuds. Like if you're watching a YouTube video, if you're on a phone call, listening to music, by default, it will just record 30 seconds of audio. It can go as high as 1 minute, or even record what you were previously listening to for 15 or 30 seconds, although that will use more battery, I assume, because the buds are always gonna be trying to record in the background. Now, all of these recordings will be saved to the Nothing X app, so it's gonna be saved into the cloud. You are able to transcribe these recordings. You also get some customization, like an offline mode, which I assume will bring down the quality of the recording. Now, the Pro mode is gonna give you the best quality. You get 3 months of this for free, included with the earbuds, so this is gonna be a subscription service. Don't know how much it's gonna cost. Definitely not a fan of this stuff. It's not something I personally use, but look, if you find the need for it, then it might be worth it for you. So of course you will need to log in to use all this. Also not a fan of that, but this is the AI stuff that's coming out. Wrapping it up here though, you have your connected devices. Device settings has your LDAC toggle. It's an ear tip fit test and a Find My Buds that'll emit a beep from the earbuds. Okay, now category 8 is noise cancelling. Scoring the 3A an 8 out of 10, a pretty solid improvement over the Ear A. I'm putting the strength of the noise cancelling just a small step behind the Ear 3. They just blocked out voices and more inconsistent sounds slightly better. So overall, pretty solid stuff. You can see I have a lot of buds scored an 8. This is incredibly tricky to score because there's so many earbuds. So there's gonna be maybe some slight differences. There's some buds that are scored 8 that might be slightly stronger, but this is a kind of a rough scoring. Doing my best here. Some interesting points though, I found that the CMF Buds 2 Plus noise cancelling was pretty much on par with the Ear 3A. And you also have a bud like the Tozo NC20 Pro that have noticeably stronger noise cancelling, and you can get them for a cheaper price. So just something to keep in mind there. Now, another major complaint I have with these buds is in relation to the noise cancelling, is actually with EQ shift. So this is how your sound quality changes when you switch from noise cancelling on to transparency or noise cancelling off. Now, the biggest shift here is going from noise cancelling to transparency. There's like a 30 to 40% bass increase. So the buds sound more balanced with noise cancelling on, way too over the top bass boosted with transparency on. This is a crazy amount. Most buds today might have like a 5%, 10% shift maximum, but this is like to the point of being a deal breaker. This needs to be fixed ASAP. And I'm pretty sure it can be fixed by firmware, at least I hope. If or when it is, I'll leave a comment down below. I might make another video, I don't know. Continuing on though, if you want to use noise cancelling with one earbud with the other in the case, that works completely fine. And if you're outside on a windy day, the wind pickup isn't too loud. Similar to the E3, nothing has improved this over each generation. And there's an automatic wind reduction in there. So if there's too much wind picked up, it'll turn the noise cancelling strength down a little bit. Within like 3 or 4 seconds, the noise cancelling strength will go back to full strength. Okay, now onto category 9, the transparency mode. Scoring the 3A 7.5 out of 10. It's definitely a step up from the Ear A, but it's about the same transparency mode here as the Ear 3. Nothing just seems to struggle with their transparency mode. The actual clarity is fine. Like, it's quite natural. You can hear distant sounds well, you can hear voice as well. The main issue here is the high level of occlusion. So when you speak yourself, your own voice sounds quite muffled, and there's a high amount of that kind of blocked ear effect, which you can get many budget earbuds, for example, the OnePlus Buds 4, that have a miles better transparency mode with barely any occlusion. But the wind noise reduction works well here, similar to the noise cancelling. All right, now onto the final round, sound quality. Starting with my max volume test, I measured the buzz just over 110 decibels. This is after a bit of EQ, keeping in mind you lose a few decibels with that. So it seems like it's on the lower side, although the way I measure the buds, the drivers and ear tips are quite long, so it depends how close that gets to the actual sound meter I use. Basically, like 70% and above, it's getting into hearing loss territory. You should have more than enough volume here, unless you just need the loudest earbud for whatever reason it is, then these buds are technically not the loudest. But onto the sound quality itself, I'm scoring the 3A an 8 out of 10, a small step up from the Ear A. But this is after tons of EQ, because the stock tuning is just over the top bass boosted, to the point of being just bloated, muddy, not very good, unless you like over the top bass. And also keep in mind the EQ shift I mentioned before. So when you turn the transparency mode on, the buds sound like a bit of a joke. Like the bass is cooked. This is kind of similar to the Ear 3's stock tuning when they first came out. I think they may have changed it. They could be fixed, and luckily you can fix the 3A. Even just using the simple 3-band EQ, chuck the bass down. But I like using the advanced 8-band EQ to really dial the sound in, which you can do. So you can see I mainly just dial down that bass in there, and I do some upper mid, and slight treble boosting as well. So after that EQ, the buds sound pretty solid. The bass is impactful, still quite clean. The mids are forward without being too forced or over the top. The treble is on the smoother side, even just with the stock tuning. If you like that really nice crisp upper treble, and you can't really get it on these buds, even if you boost it all the way. But overall, it's a smooth experience, decent instrument separation, and with the advanced 8-band EQ, you can really tailor them to your liking. Compared to the Ear A, since you get that advanced 8-band EQ, I find you can just get a slightly more dynamic and engaging sound, especially with the treble. The Ear A treble is also quite smooth, and it's even trickier to get to a nice level, to the point of being dialed back a bit too much. But compared to the Ear 3, they do have better separation, just a clearer sound overall, slightly more open soundstage. So overall detail of instruments is a bit better on the Ear 3. I actually used to have the Ear 3 scored lower. I don't know if they were updated by firmware, like update the buds whenever I retest. So I've actually bumped up the score for those buds. They sound very good. But compared to some similarly priced buds that are also scored the same, we'll start with the OnePlus Buds 4. They have a bit of a V-shaped stock tuning as well, not as over the top with bass as the Ear 3A. But if you like that sparkle with the treble and it to be nice and crisp, you're probably going to prefer the Buds 4. I think the mids are a bit richer on the Buds 4 as well. The 3A gives you a bit more of a smoother tuning. The treble's a bit easier to dial down. The Buds 4 treble is always going to be a little bit boosted, so it depends on what you like there. I've also got the Tozo NC20 and NC20 Pro. Both solid sounding buds once you EQ them quite a lot, and they do provide a similar type of tuning to the OnePlus Buds 4. Then there's also the Soundpeats H3, which I think have the best sound quality at the budget price. They use I think it's a triple driver setup. They use a couple of, at least 2 or 3 drivers, so you can get slightly better detail and separation on the H3. Now you can see I have quite a few buds scored an 8. Like again, it's almost impossible comparing sound quality here. Basically, stock tuning bad. At 8-band EQ, you can get buds sounding good. It's pretty much all you need. But now that wraps up all 10 categories, and here are the final scores. The Ear 3A finishes with 81.25 out of 100, so just over 5 points up from the Ear A. As I said, it's a pretty solid improvement, but this is prior to changing the weight of important categories, which you can do for yourself in my free spreadsheet link below. Now here is the top 28 buds after that customization. So the 3A now finished with 80.1 out of 100, but keep in mind this is comparing all the earbuds at any price. On the spreadsheet, you can choose to look only at the budget options. So here's the top 10 for budget earbuds. So you can see here, there are quite a few buds ranked higher than the 3A. Despite this, the 3A still have a decent amount of standout features. First is the build quality of the buds and the case, easily the best at this price. Also think they have the most unique design. Many budget buds kind of look the same. The core quality is top tier. Squeeze controls are pretty rare at this price as well. Then there's an audio recording feature. It's a niche one, but might be a selling point for you. And of course, the advanced 8-band EQ. Nothing still has the most advanced EQ. But main drawback, the control beat feedback, volume being too low, needs to be sorted out. The transparency mode occlusion is not great. And there's of course a massive EQ shift, the sound quality changing from noise cancelling to transparency, which is just a deal breaker, at least now. So hopefully that gets fixed soon. So right now, I can't recommend these buds, especially since there's so many other great options out there. Of course, the #1 ranked budget bud, the OnePlus Buds 4. Most of the main features are a small step ahead of nothing. Transparency mode is miles ahead. You also get an adaptive transparency mode, like a blend of noise cancelling and transparency. You don't get squeeze controls, but they do use touch controls with swipe for volume, which is pretty rare at this price. As I mentioned before, if sound quality is your priority, the Soundpeats H3 are a banger, solid all-around bud as well. The Tozo NC20 Pro had the best noise cancelling. They're ranked pretty high as well, as you can see, despite their core quality not being the best. You got the Soundcore Liberty 4 Pro on sale, pretty close to the 3A. The only bud to use squeeze and swipe controls at this price. Most of the features are pretty close, better transparency mode. I think you can get the 3A sounding a bit better than them though. Another interesting one is the CMF Buds 2 Plus, scored 0.2 higher, mainly due to their superior battery life. I'd say the sound is a small step behind the 3A, no advanced EQ as well, but they are a lot cheaper. Now, I'd be here all day if I keep comparing all the buds, but you can just check out the spreadsheet. I've got notes, specifications. You can compare the buds easily for any like niche thing specific to you. But for more on nothing, check out my headphone A review here. Thanks for tuning in, stay picky, and I'll see you in the next one.